Hi friends, I am going to read you a nonfiction bat book so you can add some of this information to your research of bats or your tree map of bats. So this book, even though it's nonfiction, has a lot of cartoon images, and that is because the author and illustrator Gail Gibbons really enjoys using drawings in her nonfiction books. And every once in a while, you might see a nonfiction book with drawings. A lot of Gail Gibbons books uses these drawings. I just read one about pumpkins. Bats by Gail Gibbons. Bats dive, swoop, and swerve through the dark night sky. These creatures are nocturnal, meaning they are awake at night and asleep during the day. Most people have never seen a bat. Bats have played an important part in stories. Many people have thought bats were evil spirits. Others have thought they were friends of ghosts and witches. Because many unkind things have been said about bats, some people still think they are scary. Actually, bats are gentle animals. And this says funnel-eared bat. Bats are mammals, as are dogs, cats, and humans. All mammals are warm-blooded animals, and their babies are born alive instead of being hatched from an egg. Bats are the only mammals that can fly. Bats have been around for a long time. The oldest bat fossil was found about 50 million years ago. These prehistoric bats looked a lot like today's bats. All bats have the same basic characteristics, including large wings, small bodies, and lightweight bones. This is a little brown bat, and it has a wing. The fur of a bat can be black, white, red, brown, or gray. Body, tail, foot, and this is about 3 inches. Oh my gosh, only 3 inches. Ear, nose, and eye. Bat wings are different from the wings of insects or birds. A bat wings have long arm bone with very long finger bones. A thin skin called a membrane stretches between the bones. The thumb ends with a claw. So here's the arm bone, the claw, the thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger. And this is the membrane. The membrane connects the wing bones to a bat's body and legs. A bat can move each finger separately to change the shape of his wing. That's pretty cool. This helps it change its speed and its direction quickly. Some bats can fly as fast as 99 miles an hour and some as high as 10,000 feet. Whoa. My car, I won't even take 99 miles an hour. When a bat lands, it flips upside down and it hangs by its toe claws. It uses these claws to move around. Oh, it says, bats migrate when they go to and from warmer climates. Bats choose many kinds of dark nooks and crannies to live in. These places are called roosts. Many bats live together in caves, attics, barns, or tall trees. In places where it gets cold in the winter, some kinds of bats migrate towards warmer climates. Others use their roosts to hibernate until spring. This is called a Mexican free-tailed bat. Bats hibernate when they sleep deeply for long periods of time. Just before hibernating begins, bats eat lots of food to live on during the long winter months. Their heartbeats slow down and their body's temperature drops. Bats live on every continent except Antarctica. It's super cold there, and we know they don't like cold. Most of them live in hot climates where there are many insects, fruits, and flowers to feed on. So they like insects, fruits, and flowers. There are about 1,100 different kinds of bats. The smallest is the Kitty's hog-nosed bat. Its wingspan, so that's when its wings are open, is about 5 inches long. And it weighs only 1/14 of an ounce. That's lighter than 1 pound. Lighter than like an orange. The biggest bat is the giant flying fox. It has a wingspan of about 5 feet. So that's about as big as Miss Lodato can reach. And it weighs about 2 pounds. They both live in Asia, so not in North Carolina. Most bats are insect eaters and have a special way of seeing in the night called echolocation. A bat sends out a rapid beeping call, too high-pitched for people to hear. When hunting, the sound waves hit an insect, and the waves bounce back to the bat's ears as it echoes. These echoes tell the bat the size and shape of the insect and where it's located. In a flash, the bat scoops up the insect. Bats help control the insect population. Without bats, we would have so many insects or bugs and mosquitoes. So good thing we have bats, or else we would have lots of mosquito bites. And this is a label, and it says sound wave. There are fruit and nectar eating bats too. These bats help pollinate plants so we can have food such as avocados, figs, and bananas. They also help scatter the seeds. So it says nectar bat. Nectar is the sweet juice from the flowers. This is a fishing bat. A few kinds of bats are meat eaters. They eat fish, frogs, mice, and sometimes even birds. They have smooth, sharp, crushing teeth that allow them to eat what they catch, bones and all. Ugh, I don't know if I'd want to eat any bones. This is called a vampire bat. Blood is the only food for vampire bats. They are found in Mexico, Central America, and South America. So not in North America where the United States is or North Carolina is. When the vampire finds an animal, it makes a tiny cut with its teeth in the animal's skin. Then the bat laps up the blood with its tongue. The animal hardly even feels the cut. That's how small it is. Many scary and untrue stories have been told about vampire bats and people called vampires. The famous fictional vampire named Dracula frequently is shown with bats circling him. So that's fiction. It often comes around Halloween too. Ooh, look at these different types of bats. A dawn bat, a tube-nosed fruit bat, Jamaican fruit bat, and an effluent bat. Some bats have long, narrow faces. Others have short, round faces. Some bats have leaf-like shapes on their faces, while others might look like dogs. Ooh, I see that. Most bats have very good hearing and can see well. Most bats have a good sense of smell, too. In the springtime, female bats gather together in roosts that will become nurseries. We have nurseries sometimes here. Yes, who goes in the nurseries? Babies. There they will give birth to their babies called pups. Most bats have only one pup at a time, so baby bats are called pups. During birth, the mother bat may hang by her thumb claws with her head up. So instead of hanging upside down, she hangs right side up. She forms a basket with her tail membrane. At birth, the pup slides from her body into the basket. Other bats give birth while upside down. So some bats do it upside down, some do it the other way. right side up. As soon as the pup is born, the mother hangs head down again. The pup nurses while being cradled under the mother's wing. The pup clings to the mother's fur using its own sharp teeth and claws. A young pup grows quickly. A 10-day-old pup is almost too heavy for its mother to carry, only at 10 days old. At 3 months old, it is flying on nightly hunting trips. When it is about 1 year old, it's an adult. 1 year old, and it's an adult. Today, in many places, bat populations are getting smaller. These bats are endangered. The only reason is that many people still don't like bats and destroy their habitats. Other causes are pollution and the use of pesticides for killing crop-damaging insects. In many places, there aren't enough bats left to keep down the number of insect pests, or pollinate flowers. So see, we need them. People are learning how to help protect bats. Some people provide bat houses where they can roost. In a lot of our parks in Wilmington, there are bat houses. That's what they look like. They're a little wooden box. Sometimes they have a hole in them. Sometimes people cover bat cave entrances with grill work, which is like a metal frame. Bats are free to come and go, but people can't enter. Also, there are nature preserves that protect large groups of bats. Bats play an important role in nature. It is fun to learn about them. Then these are just some extra facts about bats. The Mexican free-tailed bat that lives in Bracken Cave near Texas eats about 250 tons, oh my goodness, tons of insects at night. Most bats live to be 10 to 14 years old. Under a bridge in Texas, you can see more than 1 million free-tailed bats roosting. The little brown bat can eat 1,000 insects in an hour. Almost 1/2 of the bat species living in the United States are at risk, so that means people don't want them. White nose syndrome is a disease that can kill many bats in the United States. Scientists are working to help understand them. And then, have you ever heard when someone says, as blind as a bat? I remember my grandma used to say that about herself. It's not true because bats can see really well. Some people think that bats can carry diseases, especially one called rabies, but it's not true. There's other animals that can get rabies too, so they're the same. Never touch a bat if you find it on a ground because we don't want them to bite you. They might be so scared. And there are about 45 species of bats found in North America. So that's in America where we live. I hope you got some great information out of our book to add to your tree map research.